No injuries to report.
What didn't work in the second that was working in the first?
Well, you know, the first goal, they came out, obviously, I'm sure they would have dialed it up in the second, after the first being down 2. And, you know, first goal was just a little bit of a flyby on Getzlaff, who's one of the top players, and they took it to the net and, you know, scored the goal. And then we just mismanaged the puck both times at the far blue line, and you have to, you always hear me saying, you know, that those are turnovers that can't happen, especially against the top line, and we mismanaged the puck right at their blue line 3 or 4 times, and they turned it into offense, and they scored a couple of goals off of it. So I thought we did it to ourselves, but the rest of our, you know, the first period, once we got it stabilized, you know, we got a 2-2, we got 3-2, and then they scored again, you know, it was a turnover in the real critical areas, you know. I always say that, you know, 10 feet outside the blue lines on both ends. That's a real important area where you can dictate where the game's going to go, if it's going to go into their end or remain in transition into back in your end. And you know, we mismanaged it. That one line was mismanaged. The Getzlaff line, and you know, lit us up tonight with you know, their best guys were the best guys. At the end of the day, you look at the score sheet, and it's Getzlaff, Perry, Solani. I mean, you know. And you know, ours were, you know, Gostick, Smith, you know, so and then we had we got it stabilized, and we had that kind of pretty well killed. We just had to seal the ice on that one play. We talked about it all morning. Showed 3 clips on it this morning. We didn't get the ice sealed, and we scored with 15 seconds in that penalty. So I really thought we played a pretty solid game, and we just mismanaged about 3 or 4 shifts against the Getzlaff Perry line.
Any explanation from the officials regarding the last play of the game?
Any explanation? They said it was tipped. Yes.
Seems like Cullen and Smith have been working together pretty well again tonight.
Well, yeah, they Smith has been with leg wounds, and I double shifted maybe with Cully today a little bit, and I thought both were really good. I think Cully's had some difficult games lately. I think tonight was a step in the right direction for him. He really notched up his game. And Smitty's been pretty steady the whole time and getting rewarded. He's playing really, you know, using that speed and that shot. And I think he's real hard on the puck. He's checking with his feet. He's doing a lot of those detail things that give you extra pucks, extra shots, and extra offensive time.
On the Perry goal, it looked like your defense was in position, but just maybe caught a little flat.
On the Perry goal, well, yeah, they were trying to get off a little bit, and that's why that puck had to go deep. That, you know, they had us in their end a little bit, and we were trying to get our, you know, a change there. We moved it up to the forwards. They mismanaged it at the blue line, and you know, transitioned the other way. There was a quick up, and you know, your defense are thinking that puck's going in for sure, and you start going this way, and then all of a sudden you realize it's not going that way, and they're going this way, and you're putting the brakes on you. You look like you're flat-footed because there's something that happened, you know, 85 feet in front of you.
First time you lost in regulation when leading after the first, and when scoring 3 goals. Is it just Ducks are a great
Good team. I mean, these guys have lost 1 game in their last 19 or something. I was looking before the game. I think they were like 17-2-3 or something like that. Or, you know, it was something ridiculous. They got a good hockey team. That's a very good hockey team. They play fast. They force a lot of pressure on you. You know, we've got, you know, the goaltending has been really good for them. They've got good special teams. There's a lot of pieces that they got going on. There's a reason that they haven't lost in about 20 games here. So, what I was saying, when we manage the game the right way, I don't think there's a team that we can't play with in the National Hockey League. And that's just, you know, our team play has to override everything tonight. You know, it's those details. It's managing pucks. It's taking pucks to the next level. Managing the game. You know, you got a second period. You know those pucks have to go in, because your D are trying to get off, and if you want to get a little too fancy and turn pucks over, you can't get your D off, you can't get line changes, you can't do a lot of things. So, it was disappointing because we had a 2-0 lead, we played really well, and we sort of gave it back really quickly, and then we stabilized. We were in the game, and then it ended up being a special teams goal. And I didn't like our penalties tonight. You know, holding calls and stuff, up ice, those type of things I did not like.
Okay.